Hello everyone, Don here again with the latest update on the W.A.R Corsair project. Last weekend, like I said, I wasn't going to do an update because I had to work on my car. Well, it turns out my parts just showed up this past Friday, so it's been 12 days since I ordered them, so I didn't get to work on the car last weekend. So instead I piddle around with little other things, but I didn't do much with the plane. But during the week I did get out here and start working on that. So yesterday and today, actually yesterday I had a EAA meeting here at my house. I hosted a meeting, so the members from the club showed up for that. So after they left, I went ahead and started working on my cowling. As you can see here, what I ended up doing is the cowling was rubbing pretty hard on the corner of the firewall, right in this corner here. So I ended up trimming about a ½ inch off of this back edge to open up that relief on the firewall. It's got a round corner. Then I went in and I recut this back a ½ inch also, and then I mixed up epoxy last night and cotton flocks, ground cotton flocks. Made this little slurry mix, and then you put that in there, and then that makes for a really nice hard edge, and it takes and stiffens this right back up again. So that's the top half. Okay, and the bottom half, I kept telling you I've been wanting to cut a hole in it. As you can see, I got it mounted. And I did the same thing to the whole thing. I cut the whole back off. As you can see, I've got this piece of ceramic blanket in there with aluminum foil. I want to find some kind of foil tape also to glue around this to hold this edge down. But it's pretty much glued down with contact cement. But I don't think it'll stay there if I don't tape it down. But what I did do is came up under here and I notched out around the mufflers to relief cut cowling, and then I also cut that big hole in the bottom. So now that's 4 inches deep, and then both of the things there. What I want to do is get some airflow through there to take the heat out from the muffler, so that's directly underneath the muffler. If I can get it up here where you can see it, up under there is the bottom of the muffler. So the idea is try to get that heat out of there. So that's where I'm at right now. So then I got to come back in here and touch these all up after I get everything finalized, because now the cowling doesn't touch these spots anymore. So I'll have to touch up all these, pull the fuel tank off, and I'm going to have to trim paint all the way around everything to get rid of that white. Oh, and also, as you can see, I screwed the windshield in. I did that last weekend, I'm pretty sure. Mess around with that. And then this week, during the week, I was off work all week. We got slow, and the boss gave me and my guy told us to take a week or two off until they get things lined up again. But for our EAA meeting yesterday, I went ahead and threw the seat covers in, just set them in place. They still need to be screwed down. But during the week, starting Wednesday, I went ahead and worked on the outer wing panels. As you can see now, I've got both the insignias painted. Let me get out here somewhere where I can see them. I didn't feel like dragging everything back outside today, but that's the left wing, top of the left wing, and the bottom of the right wing. Now these stars on this, the diameter of this star is 24 inches. Same as that. And the diameter of these stars, you look at it from here, from there to there, is 19 inches. So they're 5 inches bigger in diameter. And it's noticeable, definitely noticeable. Mosquito. But Wednesday I painted the white, Thursday I did the dark blue, and Friday I did the red. And then I took and cleaned up the shop, got everything, a lot of stuff put away, made the shop a little pretty for the meeting. Canopy there, I didn't get to work on any of that, but I spent the 3 full days getting the painting done. So that's pretty much it for the bulk of the major painting. The only thing really you have to do is little touch-ups from nicks and chips like that. Once I get these gear door covers made and put on there, they'll have to be painted up. and then the pieces underneath. The problem is I ran out of white. I used every drop of white I had left. So I'm probably going to have to go and buy maybe a pint or a half a pint of the white so I can finish up the last of these couple items, the windshield frame and the 2 covers for the gear and the 2 covers for underneath. So, and what I'm working on right now is this filler neck. Remember, it will not fit. This is the stock piece, so I ended up cutting it once, tried to fit it, still wouldn't work, cut it again. I think I've cut it about 3 times. So that's where I'm at with it right now. And what I'm kind of looking at right now is I'm able to get these water pipe type fittings fit in there. This, whatever I get, if it's this long, I'll have to be cut off inside. But the idea is I'm going to try and bring it in. It needs to be somewhere right around here where the stick is. So when I make one door, I can get to it. And as you can see right now, that thing's pretty lined up. And if I can put a 90-degree elbow in like this, and a 90-degree elbow like this, I can get them to merge together and make this S-turn. And then it'll still use the stock cap. And then I'll devise some kind of bracket to clamp it from here right to the stick, so they're right there side by side. So that's probably going to work out. That'll have to do for now. It's about the best I can do. Like I said, the other option is I was originally looking to just cut this off and try to put some kind of plug cap on there to get by without having to machine one out of aluminum right away. But the problem is we got this fuel pressure regulator on the stock fuel rails in the way, and so that's the biggest problem I have. And this again has got an O-ring on the bottom of it. It just fits down in the socket there. And it won't fit the other way around at all. So that's kind of going to have to do for now. And I think that'll work good. And then with this up here, as you can see, I can spin this around so it, you can literally change the angle of where you're going to pour in. The weird thing is this thing is like an inch ID up here, and right where I cut it off down into here somewhere, it reduced down to about 3/4 of an inch. And then right there at that reduction there was a little prong thing in there that if you was to drop like the oil cap off the bottle in here, it would only fall down in and get stuck in here. It wouldn't fall through into the engine. Because this hole in here was, like I said, reduced down all the way down to 3/4 of an inch. Well, I took a 1-inch drill and I drilled it out to 1 inch so one of these fittings can fit in there. So what I'm going to try and see if I can find, I think this is a 1-inch pipe. I'm going to try and find 1-inch barb to 3/4 inch pipe, male, and then a 3/4 inch female to 1-inch male pipe fitting, pipe, coupling. So maybe I can screw these two together. If not, I'll have to get just 2 sets of hose barbs, 90-degree hose barbs, and put a small section of hose between them, clamp them up, and that should get me inside the cowling with plenty of clearance now. So that's kind of where I'm at this week, folks. It was pretty productive, just getting these done. It's a good feeling to have those finally finished. I haven't yet gotten the chance to attach them all up and get the flap rigged up and get the ailerons rigged up. I do have a little clearance issue yet inside on some of the foam in here. Hear that rubbing? The push rod is rubbing on a piece of foam in there, so I got to get in there and clean that out. And then I got to come in here. I'm going to grind a bunch of this stuff out here for making the bolts easy access. And then I got to cover all this in epoxy to seal it up. So on the ends of the wings panels and both ends of the wing there, I have to do that. Yes, I dropped my cap. There it is. So I kind of finally took the airplane, off the tail. So now it's sitting on the tail again. Again, I just have the trim tab to finish for that. Get the tail cone buttoned up. The weather was incredibly nice all week, which allowed me to get this painting done. Yesterday was in the mid-70s, beautiful, sunny, but it's been pretty breezy these last few days. It's breezy now. Today it didn't quite hit 65, I don't think, so temperature's falling. Where are we at right now? We're in here at 67 degrees, 61% humidity. time's not correct on that. That's the correct time, 6 p.m. Sunday. So this is, like I said, this is that insulation ceramic blanket. So I got some high temp contact cement. I just used a roller and rolled it in and then stuck it on there and cut it out. But I really need to get those edges taped down some way really good. Hopefully I can smear some more of the glue around the edges of this and then get some heavy, most of that foil tape you buy for home duct work, it's not very thick and heavy. This is really heavy stuff. So if I can find something a little heavier sticker, you know, maybe 3-4 inches wide, I'll put more contact cement around here. You can see it on there, and then that'll give it a little better grab on there to kind of hold it. I don't want to, you know, go through the cowling and, you know, try to attach it with something. So I mean, it's hard to say. I don't know. So, but I've been running the engine. I actually ran it long enough at a high RPM that fiberglass tape down there on the muffler, it started smoking. You think the damn engine was on fire. I'm smelling around, what's that smell? And I thought it might have been oil because I've left this off before and it spits oil out and it could have got on the exhaust. But it turned out it was just that new tape burning off, you know, burning probably that cheap color they put in it. That stuff will probably fall apart because it was something cheap I bought on eBay, but it is fiberglass. Fiberglass ain't going to fail, but, you know, the dye and color they put into it may. My biggest concern still is getting too much heat on the back of the oil pan. I may get something like this and try to insulate it a little more, but that's what the tape is for, the fiberglass tape there. Hopefully that'll keep it down, but it's going to get warmer in there, and hopefully you can see there where the hole is now for cooling air to go in there and kind of force cool it. So, and then now that I do have the cowling trimmed up, so now you can see all the way around the cowling, except for down there, but the whole thing now is kind of vented. Like I said, this is corners you can see is rounded, so I chamfered the edges. Let's see if we can see it, but you know, it's all recessed now, so you can see down right through there all the way through. So that should help with a little bit of airflow through there. So I haven't really ran it long enough to see if it's even gonna overheat. I don't know if this cooling system I devised here with the wings is gonna actually cool until I get it out and start testing it. So it's untested. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. If it ain't enough, I'm sure I could probably add another cooler up in here, just tie it into the system to get some extra airflow in there. It may require more venting in the cowling to get more airflow through there. So I'm not sure. I still need to get a filter and mount on this, kind of get this thing mounted and fixed, tie a few things down. I'm looking to get some pair of lights for landing light and taxi light. And I'm probably going to try and mount them right in here somewhere. I've got a set of holes right here I can come off of. One's got to be pointed down for taxi, because when the plane's sitting like this, tail on the ground, and the landing light's going to shoot out into space. So the landing light's got to shoot straight out, taxi light's got to shoot down at the ground. So it needs to be mounted somewhere high and close enough to here so it'll shine through the cowling. So I do have wires already pre-run. There's the 2 wires for just a simple nav light setup out in the wingtip. I've only got 2 wires run. That should be all just power and ground's all I need. Even if I do strobes, I turn them on, it'll probably just be everything on at once. Again, these airplanes, you know, it will not look right with a light here on the tip. These were actually meant to be into front corner. So without that, I'd have to put a white light on the tail if you can't see them from the front. If you can't see the red-green nav lights from the air, if you're behind the aircraft and you can't see those lights, then you got to have the white light on the tail. You should be able to see the red and green glow, but it won't be as noticeable if it was right on the very tip of the wing. So, all right, folks, I've been, you know, I got the oven and everything all ready again. The windshield is attached. I'll seal it all in when I go to put it in permanently, but I got to cut out the aluminum frame to put on there before I try and seal it up. So So that's where we're at this week, folks. I'll keep plugging away at a little at a time. I mean, we're getting down to the wire here with the weather. It's going to start making a drastic turn before too much longer. This week it's supposed to be, I think, actually one of these days it's supposed to be up still in the 70s. Tomorrow I think it might be a little cooler, Tuesday warmer, but it's still going to stay up in the 60s, I guess. So I can get out here and do something. I'll be off at least this week, but this week, like I said, I got my panels, so I'm probably going to try and work on the car. That's what the weather looks like now. It was nice all day, but it's been pretty breezy all weekend. So, all right, folks, as always, appreciate everyone taking the time to watch my videos, and like always, feel free to leave any comments, questions, or concerns, and I'll answer them as they come along, and I'll just keep plugging away at this. And I did get to use my torpedo heater in here when I was painting during the week to warm it up, and the thing only runs a couple minutes and shuts off now that this whole room is insulated, and it doesn't kick back on for like 20 minutes, so it does stay nice and warm in here when I get her heated up. I just need to insulate these doors before the snow flies so I can really be out here and work when it's cold. All right, folks, again, thanks for taking time to watch the videos, and I'll hopefully see you next weekend. For now, this is Dino Don out.